Hi there. This is Beth Green, otherwise known as Granny Rocks.
And this is Sweet Baby James, otherwise known as James Maynard.
And I want to tell you that 3 minutes ago or so, our room, the lights went off, the internet went off, everything went off. And James flipped the switch, and we just got the internet back, and now Facebook isn't working right. But I mean, can you believe it? Just as we're about to get on the air, but is that going to stop us? Certainly not. Elizabeth said hello, and hello back. I'm so glad that you're here despite all of this. And we're going to get started regardless of what occurred. And tonight I'm going to talk about Thanksgiving. And I was trying to put something in about that, and even that wouldn't work. It was printing backwards.
Really?
But now we see, okay, Elizabeth said hello, and Luann waved, and that is so wonderful. Thank you so much. And James, would you like to introduce our show?
Well, Granny Rocks Our World is now on the air, thank God. Otherwise known as Grow. Another reason to grow.
All right.
And Granny's going to share her wisdom, her wit, and her uncommon sense with us, as she does every Monday and Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific. So stay tuned, and let's see what Granny has in store for us tonight.
Yes, and meanwhile, Ali said, hello, Gunyai Din, which I think is Turkish. Hello, Ali. And Tracy said, hi from Tracy and Jane. Oh, I'm going to see Jane tonight. Oh, that's just divine. Well, let me see if I can retrieve my thoughts. This was a pretty dramatic moment, right? Okay. So, yes. So the question that I wanted to talk about tonight is Thanksgiving. Does it still mean anything? And I don't know if it ever did mean anything, but it just made me think, because tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and I'm so grateful to you guys. In fact, I'm giving thanks, lots of thanks, for our wonderful fans who somehow stick with us through thick and thin. There's Tanya. Good afternoon and happy Thanksgiving.
Hello,
good
happy
afternoon.
Holiday.
Happy Thanksgiving to you. Oh, isn't it wonderful? So we are so grateful to our fans. I mean, could you believe that we were knocked off the air and the lights went out and the computer went down and the battery went backup went down, all when we were supposed to get on the air, and here we are. And I am thankful. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So I do want to talk about Thanksgiving. And what I'd like to say is that for many of us, because I'm asking the question, does it still mean anything? And did it ever, right? So for many of us, Thanksgiving means family and food, right?
Right.
And sometimes it means a prayer of thanksgiving, which is kind of cool, right? I like that. But do many of us think beyond that? Well, don't ask me how I got onto the Pledge of Allegiance, but I'm going to tell you what happened. So, because I was thinking about the Pilgrims' Thanksgiving, and we know stuff about the Pilgrims, and we think that's the first Thanksgiving. Actually, it wasn't the first Thanksgiving, evidently. There were other Thanksgivings in the New World before that. But the myth lives on, and in that story, we have the native people helping the Pilgrims who would have died because of all the stuff that happened to them. Well, we know how we paid back those native people, don't we? So Karen says, thanks for you, thanks for you, Karen. Thanks for every one of you individually and all of you. So the myth lives on. And it kind of makes us gag, at least it makes me gag a little bit about, oh, we were so welcome. We were the immigrants, right? Whoever we was, which was some Christians. We were the immigrants, and the native people were the natives, and they extended themselves. And do I have to tell you that that is not the ethic of our nation today? Right?
That's right.
So I am not taking a position on whether or not there are too many people coming across the border. I'm just saying that the story of, oh, the Native people just opening and extending themselves to the people who came from overseas does not seem to apply when the people coming from overseas are not white or we have the right credentials or whatever it is. So, okay, that makes me gag a little bit. And then I think about now, who are the Native people and how do we treat immigrants and how, in fact, do we treat and did we treat the Native people? Well, the sorry story goes on and on, right?
It's a trail of tears.
A trail of tears. So let me see. It looks like there's more comments.
Yeah.
Debbie said, "Hi, James and Beth. Yes, my kids and grandkids are very big on Thanksgiving. I work tonight, but will be with the kids tomorrow. I'm very grateful for all my blessings. Happy Thanksgiving to both of you. And so you catch up with us tomorrow,
Yes.
Debbie."
So there you are, family and feasting.
Right. And Todd says, "Hi there." And I love that, and it's important. And I'm going to get to what I think we should be doing with this Thanksgiving. However, it does feel like our nation is dedicated to dog eat dog than the spirit of giving and gratitude, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Could you turn that light, that overhead light on? I was so glad to get any light off. Yes, I do need that. So each group is trying to grab something for itself or maintain its advantages. And that's the way it is in our nation today. Now, the question is, outside of myth and fantasy and the nice stories, was it ever any different? Well, I think, now I did not live in the entire past. As old as I am only 74, right? But I do know something about the past 74 years, and I've read my history books to a degree. Coming to the colonies was a land grab, wasn't it?
It was.
And Native peoples were exploited, killed, disempowered, and manifest destiny was just the theory that supported our doing so. It's like, oh, we're on this continent. It's manifest that we should take everything. In fact, didn't we take a big chunk of Mexico and now we call it California and Texas, and this is our land. We are protecting our borders. Now, again, I'm not saying that there aren't reasons or that people don't have their reasons for feeling that way, but I'm just saying, we have these delusional spirits, that we think we are, but we're not. And Bilal, who I don't know, says hi. Well, hi to you. So glad to see you. And so now, why this led me to think about the Pledge of Allegiance, I don't know, but I am guilty as charged. I started thinking about the Pledge of Allegiance because it's so, like, oh, in the myths of America, right, of who we are. So I want to share some very interesting things with you. And let's see if I even have, I don't have much here. Oh, well, I wanted to share something with you. The Pledge of Allegiance was written by a man named Bellamy, and the original pledge read, "I pledge allegiance to my flag and the republic for which it stands, one nation indivisible, with liberty and justice for all." It wasn't the flag because the people didn't want people who came from other countries to think that they were pledging allegiance to their own flag. So it had to be my flag. So they had to take out the my flag and make it the flag. And then there was no under God, see, until 1954. But I was really opposed to that, but what can you do, right? Now, get this. According to Wikipedia, the pledge was supposed to be quick, and I'm quoting this. It was supposed to be quick and to the point. Bellamy designed it to be recited in 15 seconds. Well, that's, that really helps old people can't hold their arm up. But now dig this. Are you ready for this? As a socialist, he had initially also considered using the words equality and fraternity, but decided against it, knowing that the state superintendents of education, because kids were supposed to say this at school, on his committee were against equality for women and African Americans.
Whoa.
Oh, does that hurt? It hurts. It hurts me. So, notice that the Pledge of Allegiance is to a flag and not to a set of ideals other than liberty and justice for all, which is not real because it's not all. Was this ever different? I know from reading history and from my own experience, Todd said, wow, yeah, I think you're talking about the Pledge of Allegiance, right, Todd? He was a socialist. They'd never let him write the Pledge of Allegiance now. And wasn't Emma Lazarus an anarchist, the one who said, give me your tired and your poor, and on the Statue of Liberty?
Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, well, we're not allowed to have socialists and anarchists anymore because that's been eliminated. Oh, Todd said yes. So I want to say that the things we're grateful for, like our freedoms, we do have certain freedoms in this country that other people don't have. And some of you come from countries where there are freedoms, and some of you come from countries where there's very few freedoms at all. And I want to tell you that we've had to fight like hell to get those freedoms. Workers didn't just have the 8-hour day, right? Not that we even have the 8-hour day anymore. And, people had to fight for all this, and people fought for living wages, and workers fought. Island said, just came in, we'll catch it from beginning later. Oh, I'm so glad that you will. I think you're going to enjoy this, actually, for your Thanksgiving, pre-Thanksgiving meal. I'm feeding you food, ideas. And women had to fight like hell for the vote. Didn't even have women's suffrage till what, 1920, something like that?
That's right, 1920.
Which was 25 years before I was born. Can you imagine that? 25 years before I was born, women couldn't vote. Well, some people would think that was the good old days. And what about slavery? And what about the emancipation? And what about giving black people the right to vote, which is always being threatened by gerrymandering and all kinds of stuff? I mean, we have had to fight for all these freedoms. And so when we say our prayers of gratitude tomorrow or tonight or whenever we're doing it, I hope that we are looking at that, yeah, these things weren't just given. Gay people were tormented, abused, and persecuted, still are to some degree. So we have had to fight for our blessings. And I mean, I could go on. I've just mentioned a few. When I was growing up, America meant white and white bread, and maybe to some degree, not even women. Women's movement. Look how we've had to fight for all of our blessings. And that has not changed. We still have to fight for our blessings. We have to fight to keep them. We have to fight to expand them. We have to fight for our ethics and our morality, not by pointing to the past and saying how divine it used to be and, oh my God, how could we have gotten so off course, but by pointing to the future and saying, this is who we want to be. Our nation was not founded on liberty and justice for all. It certainly wasn't founded on equality or fraternity. In the old days, the rich governed. In these days, the rich govern. I'm not trying to polarize. I'm just telling the truth. We still do not have a social or economic system that looks after the needs of people. We are going to have to fight like hell for that. So let's not look back on the good old days because there weren't any. When I was growing up, the House Un-American Activities Committee was taking those same communists that had helped build the union movement and blacklisting them and trying to get them out of the unions, hoping that the unions would collapse and not have as much strength. And then there was Senator McCarthy. And you couldn't have a thought that wasn't in alignment with what certain people believe. We still have that kind of nation. It may look like we don't. Well, we have social media. I can see anything I want, right? I don't have the power to buy my audience. Todd says, we have a conflicted, checkered past, and yes, we have to keep pushing for the equality and needs of the people. There are no good old days. There are not. The question isn't whether or not the old days were good. The question is whether the coming days are going to be good. And that is up to us. Let's throw off the myths and the fantasies. Let's turn to one another with faith on this Thanksgiving and be grateful that we have each other. Look how our prosperity has been paid for by the earth, by the water we drink, by the air we breathe. Look at that. By the animals that we have tortured, the wildlife. No, the good old days when the lead industry told us that lead in the water was good for our health. No. Todd said, thank you for this topic. You are so right. It is up to us. So what should we do on this Thanksgiving? We should be thankful for everything we do have. We should be thankful for one another. We should be thankful that some of us still have the strength, the energy, the minds to continue fighting. And by the way, I also wanted to mention the mentally ill and the incredible struggle that the mentally ill have had to go through just to have some compassion and respect. Yeah, in the good old days, what did they throw? They just threw the mentally ill in, in Bedlam. Well, Island says, yes, we still have that kind of nation. It is full of division. I choose to take sides. I choose to take the side of not taking sides, to take the side of justice for all, equality for all. That's the kind of world I want to live in. And I think you do too, Island. Todd says, I am thankful for you, and I am thankful for you, Todd. So let's be grateful. Let's be honest. Let's get over the myth of America and start fighting for the reality of what we can achieve. And I am going to spend the rest of my time on this earth that I am capable trying to fight for that. And I will be back on Monday. In fact,
Yes.
We are here every Monday and Wednesday.
Yes, we are.
At 6:30 p.m. right here. And Elizabeth said, I too am thankful to you, for you too, Beth. When I'm thankful for you, Elizabeth, thank you, thank you. You have no idea how you guys keep me going. In fact, I was having a discouraging day, and I got a comment from Karen, one of our wonderful viewers, and she said, I was talking last time about, do you feel, yeah, doesn't it feel like our world is falling apart? Well, it is. And she said, as always, you touch the core of things and give us much to think about. I agree with you and see this divisiveness and fear all around. This is what I love, though. She said, it is my hope that as old dysfunctional structures of authority fall apart, which they are, and I talked about that last time, watch that show, more of us will wake up and be able to create a society that is kinder and more inclusive. Thank you for that comment, Karen. Tracy said, ditto, grateful for you, Beth, and you, James, too. Mwah. And all kinds of beautiful symbols from Todd. And I want to tell you that tomorrow, Thanksgiving, I will be here playing the piano. Dreams of Peace. Tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Pacific time. No holiday is going to stop us.
That's
and
right.
if you can't watch it then, please join us later. Well, I am so grateful that so many of you showed up live tonight and didn't say, oh, well, I have to bake dessert for tomorrow. There is so much to do, and I want to spend the next year with you. I'd like to be sitting here next Thanksgiving feeling more grateful that we have more things to be grateful for. Our thoughts, our thinking, our freedom of mind. And maybe our mobilization even. Todd says, yay for Dreams of Peace. Oh, I love playing the piano for you. I really do. I really do.
We love hearing it.
I try to rev you up on Grow and calm you down on Dreams of Peace because we need both. And thank you so much for everyone who has been supporting us all along. Trust me, your support is not in vain. Happy and thoughtful and inspiring Thanksgiving.
I second the emotion.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.